What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go! Oh man, guess who's back? I'm back with another one, episode 61. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing pretty good, Rich. How you doing?
Man, I could have been doing better. I thought I was going to sneak that win in fantasy football, but Patrick Mahomes let me down, man.
Yeah, he's off to a little bit of a rough start this season. It doesn't look like the confident Mahomes of the past couple of years.
Yeah, I think they need to actually run the ball. I mean, I hate to say it, but teams are daring them to run the ball, and they're still trying to pass.
Yeah, I don't know. That could just be an anomaly early in the season, and but some people are saying, is Kelsey hurt? Is Mahomes playing hurt still from his foot injury last year? Because he doesn't look like he has the same kind of mobility that he's had. To me, it looks like the receivers just can't get open.
Well, yeah, because it looks like so teams are like what they're playing against them. It's kind of like a cover two, where they're like it's light on the box and they're throwing everybody in coverage, and so what they're doing is like doubling Kelsey and they're doubling Tyreek. That's why you haven't seen like Tyreek get those long 60-yard plays, because they're doubling them and the safeties are playing high. So I mean, they're pretty much daring them to run the ball, but the Chiefs refuse to run the ball, which is pretty funny. But I mean, the Chiefs did have a good run game at one point, but I mean, Alaire's, I think he's still out, so yeah. I don't know, maybe they don't trust the backs they have now. But I mean, I think you just gotta run the ball, man. Even though it's not gonna be the prettiest way to win, it's a great way to keep these these interceptions off Mahomes and keep your defense off the field, because their defense is not that great yet. So
yeah, the defense played a little better on Monday, but yeah, no, I'm with you. I think it did show the other night that they were throwing a lot of balls behind the line of scrimmage just to try to get guys in that kind of extended running game type deal that the Patriots always were running. Yeah, I think you might be right. I mean, maybe they don't trust their run blocking on the line. The guys can't get can't create the holes that they need.
Yeah, but I think you gotta give what teams are giving you. Yeah. You can't force it. Yeah. It seems like they're trying to force their play style on people. I think if you run the ball and you get some quick scores, as much as you don't want to run it, if you go that route, maybe you get up 14 to zip or early lead, then that could later on open up the pass game and you can do the stuff you want to do. But I think they're just I feel like they're also so confident in their ability that they feel like it doesn't matter what teams run against me on the defensive end. They're still going to get their guys open because their guys are so dynamic. But we're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, They got some tough games coming up. So, but on the positive side, Giants lost. So we're on pace still to get a top pick. Right now we're sitting at the 7-8 spot, but it's going to be a good week coming up because we got some good games. Then you're right on the Packers pick, man. They took care of business. They beat the Cardinals.
Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like the Cardinals were kind of stumbling into that game, not necessarily 100%. Hopkins has been a little beat up, so and I feel like Rodgers still out to prove. He's still one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I think he's on a little bit of a mission this year, although it's going to be derailed here for a few weeks.
Yeah, due to COVID.
Yep, but even without Devonta Adams, Randall Cobb stepped in, got a couple touchdowns. Packers defense played well, and closed it out at the end with the interception in the end zone. Oh yeah, I mean their defense showed up too. Yep.
So I mean they had a part to play in it, but it's going to be interesting to see if how long he's out for, and then if they can maintain that top spot in the NFC, because some other teams right behind them.
Yeah, and unfortunately they have a couple tough games here in a row. Chiefs on Sunday in Kansas City, which was going to be a tough game even with him there, and then the Seahawks the following week at home. Because he's not vaccinated, the earliest he can come back is Saturday the 13th to the team. So
I thought he said he was vaccinated.
He said he was. Yeah, so it's like the big controversy this afternoon. He said he was immunized. So basically he was taking
What the fuck does that mean?
Who knows? The guy is so freaking weird sometimes. He was taking some like homeopathic type drugs, and he actually tried to get the NFL to give him a waiver because of it, and they wouldn't. So, the team knew he wasn't vaccinated. It's kind of a crazy story, but everyone else, all the media and everyone thought he was. So
yeah, I mean, it's very interesting.
yes.
I mean, I'm sure he's not the only one that said he's vaccinated, not vaccinated. So I'm sure more will come to light.
Yep.
And then we had the Saints, man. They sneak one by and they take care of the Bucks. I mean, it's going to be a tough division if they can pull that off and keep the Bucks out of winning the division.
Yeah, their defense played well. That's it's a gritty team down there in New Orleans. They don't really have the offensive firepower that they've had in the past. And obviously, they still have Kamara, but it's they played really tough defense, and they get opportune turnovers, and yeah, they were able to hold Brady down and take him down.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the Saints do because Jameis is out, and it doesn't seem like they're trying to get another quarterback. So
no, it doesn't. So yeah, I'm with you. Are they going to ride with Simeon and Taysom Hill? Phillip Rivers rumors flying around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You could probably do fine in the regular season with those guys. I don't see them going anywhere in the playoffs with Hill and Simeon.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's gonna be interesting to see what they do. As far as quarterbacks, I thought Cam would have got a call, but apparently, they said they're sticking with the in-house quarterbacks. Maybe they lose and then they realize, hey, we're gonna need another quarterback. Maybe they go get him the following week, or who knows, somebody else gets picked up off the street. So
yeah, I'm kind of interested to see how this all plays out with them and what they do. I just don't see Sean Payton going to the playoffs with those two guys, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. Yeah, some people are very prideful, man. So you never know.
Yeah.
They might say, hey, we could do what we got here. And then maybe they don't also want to get another quarterback because if that quarterback comes in and succeeds, then, maybe it's goodbye for Jameis. And maybe they feel like they could get Jameis on a discount compared to if another quarterback comes in and does good. He's going to want more money. So Then we had you had your Jets, man. They sneak up on the Bengals. Your boy White goes for like 400 and some change. I mean, broke some records. They got his jersey up in the Hall of Fame for debut game. Most yards ever thrown. How you just messed it up, man. How you feel? I feel like they're gonna go on a win streak right now, man.
Yeah, mixed feelings about that one. Good to see Mike White playing well. He was nails all game. When they needed a pass, he was there. Does that then say something about Zach Wilson? Did they not trust Zach Wilson? Were they, because they kind of opened up the offense a little bit and let White kind of sling it around, or were they just saying kind of like, fuck it, it's just we're dead in the water anyway. Let's just whip it around and see what happens. So should they have opened it up for Zach Wilson? Who knows? Now does this give Wilson a little more time to heal up and maybe sit behind, if Mike White can keep it rolling? Our team's going to now have Mike White tape, and this is just going to be a quick flash in the pan. Who knows, right? Yeah, I could, like I said, I could see them going on like a little bit of a win streak here, or I could see them going 2-15. It's, and honestly, probably nothing in between that. They, after the Colts this Thursday, they have the Bills, and then they have Dolphins, Texans, Eagles. So, I could see them going 3-2, 4-1 in the next 5, and sitting there at 5-7 or 6-6, something like that. But we'll see. I thought their defense played a lot better. Obviously, a couple huge turnovers, and their receivers caught the ball, which they haven't really been doing all year. And I don't know too if it was like Corey Davis wasn't playing, so it opened it up for some other guys. But it was definitely a surprise, we'll say.
Oh yeah, I mean, you guys got the Colts, like you said. I mean, the Colts is giving away games. I mean, they gave away a game to the Titans. I don't understand what Wentz does, man. Like, just throw it out of bounds or just take the sack, man. Like, why?
I mean, honestly, that it was kind of a stupid play, but in the end, it might have actually gotten them into overtime in that first pick in the end zone, because then they were able to get the ball back, and if they had taken a safety there, the game is essentially over. So, I did hear that argument. That was pretty, funny, but also kind of made sense because, they got the ball back, were able to go down the field, score, and send it to overtime. And obviously, he made a terrible throw in overtime. The Kenny Byard picked off, and ultimately, won the game for Tennessee. But the Colts got out to 14-0 start there, and I thought that, they could have buried them, and they didn't. So.
Yeah, I mean, Derrick Henry's out. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how this division plays out because, I mean, the Colts are giving away games. The Titans lost Henry. Julio Jones is in and out. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see who can win this division out of these two teams.
Time for A.J. Brown to step it up.
He had a good game.
He did, and if he can, he's gonna have to kind of carry the load on offense. And if Julio's in and out, then when Julio's in there, they need to produce. And I don't know, they got Jeremy, what's his last name, McNichols, as their backup. They signed AP. I wouldn't expect too much from him, but yeah, someone's gonna have to pick up the load on the running the ball, and Tannehill's gonna have to be good.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate injury for Henry. Hopefully, he can be back in time for the playoffs, but with those foot injuries, it's difficult.
Yep, because you never know. We got turn his other things. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we had the other game. We had the Eagles and they beat the Lions. It's good for the Giants. Bad for everybody else because the Lions are still winless. That was like the one game I think they could have won. With that roster they got over here. So we might just have to forfeit the first pick to them because I can't see them winning any games.
Yeah. I think Detroit needs to start pulling out the mock drafts.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be the number one pick?
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be a quarterback.
Yeah.
Because if the question is which quarterback, it seems like a lot of people are not high on these quarterbacks that are coming out. So.
No, they like the kid from Old Miss there. What's his name? Corral.
Yeah, or maybe the guy from Liberty, but I feel like a lot of teams think he's more of a project, but similar to Lamar. But we're gonna have to wait and see, man. What do you think shake out?
Yeah, it's ugly over there in Detroit. I don't see Danny Campbell lasting the year either. Or maybe he makes it through the year and gets canned after. I thought that was an odd hire from the beginning, and the fact they gave him a 5-year deal was I thought also very strange. Because I don't know, he just I know the team isn't great, but they got to be better than this.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like this is Detroit every year, man. They somehow, some way, just can't win games. I don't know if it's the culture or even when they do draft well. I mean, there's been times where they have some good players, but it just seems like they just can't put it together.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I mean, look at now you look at Stafford out in LA and they're playing good football. Stafford looks as good as he's ever looked. So it seems like just one of those places, man. Like I hate to say it, but the Jets are right on there with them.
I mean, the Jets had some years when they were going to the playoffs, AFC Championship. So I mean, sure. I don't think Detroit's ever had that I can remember. Even when Barry was there, I mean, they still had losing records.
They did. I think they went to the playoffs. I think he played one playoff game or something like that. Yeah, you're right. They don't really go to the playoffs at all.
Somebody's got to change the culture there, so we're gonna have to wait see what happens. Week 9's coming up. Like you said, you got your Jets and the Colts. The Colts might give it away. Jets might pull off the win. That's the Thursday night game. And then we got the Raiders and the Giants. I expect the Giants to keep pace on this top 5 draft pick. Right now, like I said, we're sitting at between 7 and 8. But it's all going to depend on this game right here, man. We got the Texans and the Dolphins, man. Both teams got one win. Somebody's going to win. Hopefully they don't tie. And then that will bump us up, between that 5-6 range. So banking on that. Then we got the Browns versus the Bengals, which should be a good game. If the Browns win, looks like they'll tie for the lead. Well, no, not tie for the lead, but they'll be tied with the Bengals in the division. So that should be a good game. How you feeling about that one?
I think there's a little turmoil going on in Cleveland right now. So Bengals could strike while the iron's hot. Coming off a poor performance against the Jets in a trap game there. I think they should be ready to go on Sunday. So yeah, I like the Bengals there. Don't sleep on Baltimore though. They're 5-2. They're right there. If they win They beat Minnesota on Sunday. They're in first place in the AFC North there.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. I'm probably rolling with the Bengals as well, just because I just feel like the Browns defense doesn't really show up. Interested to see how Burrow and Chase perform again. I mean, those two are pretty much unstoppable. And then the Browns got a lot of issues going on behind closed doors because there's rumors about Odell was supposed to be traded. Seems like I don't know if teams offered the good right amount or what the case was, but we all kind of thought he would get moved, but he got kicked out of practice today. They kind of said, use some different wording on it, and what they say he got dismissed or something like that.
Hey, he was excused from practice. Rich. He was not kicked out.
Yeah, that's what they're calling it. Then his father, Odell's dad put some stuff out. I feel like I mentioned it earlier. I would like Cleveland to get spicy and just cut him.
Yeah, the note from Schefter was basically that they're looking for options on what to do with Odell right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't make it to the weekend here with Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Rams are just waiting right now because I feel like they let go Deshaun Jackson, so they was
But he'll have to clear waivers because I don't think that they can fit his This was the issue, is his contract this year. He still owed like $6 million or something. So not a lot of teams want to take that on. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. If he gets cut, then maybe he takes a lesser 1-year deal because he's already technically still be getting paid from Cleveland. But now you get to go with the Rams.
Yeah,
they're gonna throw you.
He's got to clear waivers though. That's the thing. If someone does want to, they can they can scoop him up, right? So.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, we're gonna wait and see. But I'm sure but I feel like a lot of teams are not gonna want to touch him anyway, and not the Rams they're just be sitting there waiting for him, like like how Rick James was in Dave Chappelle when he was like, he's doing the come here thing. He has like the glow. I feel like that's how the Rams would be waiting for him. So. And then we had we talked about the Chiefs and the Packers, and the Titans and the Rams. I mean, on the other news, we had the trade deadline pretty much finish up. Your boy Von Miller went to the Rams. How are you feeling about the move? You feel like he's going to, get rejuvenated and we're going to see that 2015 Von Miller, or you think he's pretty much done?
Yeah, I think he's I think this could rejuvenate him a little bit this year. I think putting him with Aaron Donald, I think it'll open up, some room for him to get in there. So, no, I think this is a good move for them, good move for him, and one that hopefully, rejuvenate him a little bit there. Just like, look at Dante Fowler. Dante Fowler opposite Aaron Donald had 11 sacks. So, having probably two of your best offensive linemen or a lineman and a tight end blocking Donald really can open it up for other guys.
Yeah, they got Floyd. He's been eating off that. So it's going to be very interesting because now they're going to have Floyd on one side, Vaughn on the other side, and Donald in the middle. Then you got Ramsey shutting down half the side of the field. And their offense pretty much looks untouchable right now. I don't see anybody slowing them down, or I haven't seen anybody slowing them down. So, they're going to be a tough team, man, because playoffs get a little different. Things slow down. So, and that's when the defense really makes its impact. So, he's been in situations like that before where, we see them when they play the Panthers, and he was in the backfield all day sacking Cam Newton. So, and I feel like he's not the main focus on defense. So, he's going to be getting, some tight ends blocking him and some other players because you got to double Aaron in the inside, but Aaron still gets doubled and still gets through. So it's going to be, I think for them, it's going to be a lot of fun playing defense.
Yeah. I think they already do have a lot of fun playing defense too. So I think you're right. And the offense, Cooper Kupp's almost at 1,000 yards receiving, through 8 games. 10 touchdowns already, having, kind of a historic type year. Stafford, again, rejuvenated. Talked about that earlier. If they have some semblance of run game with Darrell Henderson, I think, like you said, the offense is going to be tough to stop.
They're one of the favorites in the NFC. People thought they would have been the one playing the Bucs in the NFC game if Aaron Donald didn't get hurt when they played the Packers. So, maybe they're this is their chance to get back to the Super Bowl, being they blew it when they had the chance against the Patriots. So
yeah,
your boy Deshaun didn't get traded. I don't know what's going on with that. I wonder now. I wonder now if we're gonna see him play, or maybe they just.
I doubt it. I think it was that the owner wasn't budging on what he wanted in return, and no one was willing to give up anything crazy without knowing the legal ramifications. The problem is the NFL is not going to rush to a decision as long as Houston keeps benching him, right? If Houston was like, hey, we're starting him this week, it would really kind of force the NFL's hand a little bit. I think they're just taking their time. So I think obviously they should get in and do the investigation anyways, but it just seems like they're like, yeah, we'll do it when we get to it, but we don't need to do that right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're not. Like you said, there's no need for them to do anything right now. They're not really forcing the NFL's hand to get this done, but I think they're still going to sit them because they're pretty much playing for draft picks. Did they ever say how much? Did they ever say what the owner wanted for Deshaun?
No, I think just same as the offseason. They wanted an impact player or two, and then some draft picks. That was kind of super vague.
Yeah,
but they weren't going to just trade him just to trade him, because they don't really have to.
Yeah, but I feel like if teams are giving you, let's say, one less first round pick than you wanted, well, why not take that deal? But that's just me, because you're pretty much you got to rebuild that team.
Yeah,
nobody really wants to go there in free agency. The people that do get traded the same season. But so I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe that's why I don't own a team, but I feel like I would do a lot better job than some of these guys are doing.
Yeah, the other part too is you don't want to cripple your not cripple, but you don't want to give away your best asset for nothing either, right? I mean, that's just not a good business move. I mean, they without knowing the legal ramifications, you're getting 10 cents on the dollar. And honestly, I know that they want to lose so they can tank it a little bit here, but I might play them a couple games. Make the NFL make a decision. Have the NFL suspend them. And suspend them for however many games, and then you know what you got, and the other teams that want to trade with know what they got, and you can your offer will be what it is.
Yeah, but the thing is if you play them, now you're winning games, and you go from a first or second round pick, the first or second pick to the seventh or eighth. But I don't know, man. I just feel I wish they would have released what teams were offering. Because if let's say they wanted 5 picks and a team offered 4 first round picks, would you I understand you might feel like that's 10 cents on a dollar, but that's a good 10 cents on the damn dollar though.
Yeah.
But I just feel like they would have released what these people wanted for them and what teams were offering for us to get a better understanding of what.
Yeah. I mean, you're never gonna get a true answer from those guys, anyways. They're gonna either, say it was so they were offering me a third round pick for him or something like that. I couldn't do that, obviously.
Yeah, you won't find out till 2 seasons later.
Yeah, exactly.
And then because then you find out, they offer 4 picks, and then you see what that team drafted with those 4 picks, and you guys could have got this person, and that person, but that's how it is, man.
Yep.
Then we got your boy Henry Ruggs, just messed it up for himself. DUI. Crazy, man. I mean, not really to say about that.
You got your boy Kadarius Toney, saying that everyone makes mistakes. Sorry, man. This isn't the time for that.
No, yeah. I mean, that's what. Sometimes people just gotta say no comment. But I mean, sometimes people see, it's my time to shine, But
yeah. Not the brightest move there. But I mean, not good. Obviously, details coming out today are even make it look even worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. That they try to teach. From what I don't know for a fact. They do try to teach these kids. They're getting into a lot of money and how to handle themselves and. And I know it's, when you're that age, you're like, okay, sure, whatever. And you probably do feel invincible to some respect, but, they need to do something because it just feels like every couple of years something like this pops up and you're like, how does this even happen?
Yeah, well, I mean, like they said, nothing great happens between the hours of, after 2 a.m. So that's kind of my motto. If I try to be back in before 2 a.m. I know that's when the bad stuff happens. So
2, mine's like midnight.
Yeah, but I mean, even as especially when you're younger, when we used to, party all day, party all night, go to the club and then go straight to a breakfast spot. But as you get older, I guess you realize, and that's the thing. After a certain time period, it's really like not much to do.
No.
Like, it's certain times where you're like you'll go out to a bar or a club or something. It's like it started off fun, but then like 2 or 3 hours later, you're like, all right, damn, what time am I going home? I'm getting tired. Yeah. But I mean, I wish he had more guidance in his life. Some people just don't listen even with the guidance. So we never know.
And that's the problem. It's like, the team can't have people following every single one of these guys around. And, 21, 22, 23-year-old kids just, not all of them are going to listen. Like, you probably got a 50-50 shot, honestly, on getting through to them. Just thinking as myself at that age, even,
Yeah, if you got $40 million, like you got to go to class.
I mean, I'm not going to be going 155 miles an hour in a car at any point, no matter how much money I had. But yeah, I mean, it's I get it, right? Like as a kid, it's hard. But how do you get to them? How can you tell them? You can show them these stories, but are they going to listen? Is the problem.
Yeah, I think. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you just got to just keep telling them the stories, showing them stories. But I mean, hopefully somebody gets it. I think it really does become impactful until you see somebody that you were close with or you knew it happened to. But I mean, that's life, man. Life is a bunch of lessons. So hopefully people learn from this. Condolences to the family that lost her. It was a daughter, right? She was like 23, 22. It's all right, man. Don't cry. And then
kicking this cold.
Yeah, be careful, man. You got COVID out there, man. And then on to the NBA. I mean, not too much to cover. We had the Marcus Smart call out. How are you feeling about that? I know we talked about it off air, but
yeah, he's not wrong. He's probably not the guy who needs to be delivering that message to the press. Probably should come from the coach or from Brad, if in fact it's not getting through in the locker room. But to Jalen and Jason's credit, it's like, well, who else is hitting shots? At the end of games, right? Like it's the two of us. We're dishing out to who? Marcus Smart. Richardson hasn't had a good start to the season. I don't know. I just don't know what the options are. So yeah, when he's saying that obviously the other team knows it's going to Jason or Jalen. Yeah, no crap. Like who else is it going to go to? And in the NBA, I feel like they can pick those two guys to cover and say, all right, Marcus, we'll let you beat us tonight. And it just hasn't happened. So
yeah, I think kind of what you talked about. Somebody has to pop up as the alpha and take leadership of the team. Maybe we talked about some potential trades, for Damian Lillard or somebody that could possibly change that team. Because I kind of feel like Brown and Tatum are like Kawhi-ish, where they don't really want to do too much talking. Like they're not really like the vocal leaders. They would rather somebody else do it, and I just feel like that's part of their game that they don't really want to take on right now. I mean, and these guys are still young. These guys, as much as we criticize them, I mean, these guys are what, 22, 23?
Yeah, I think Jalen's 24, Jason's 23. Yep.
I mean, that's a lot to have a 22, 23-year-old, leading an NBA franchise, especially Boston. With all their history. So,
I agree.
So I don't know. Maybe somebody on the team takes a more vocal leadership approach, to help get that monkey off their back, so they could just focus on going out there and playing basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I feel like they're still figuring out some things. So they have some players injured, some guys coming back. You got a new coach. So, but the NBA, NBA season is getting started. So, like we say in football, a lot of basketball to be played. So,
this is true.
And then, I mean, you guys got the Magic tonight. You guys got the Heat tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm interested to see the you guys play the Heat tomorrow. So
yeah, the Heat are playing good basketball. Kyle Lowry has seemed to have made a difference there, which I was not expecting, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that's a formidable opponent tomorrow. For I think that the Celtics typically handle the Magic pretty easily. They're up almost up 19 tonight, so yeah, I'm excited to see that the game against the Heat and how they can match up against them.
Oh yeah. Then we got you got the Knicks. They're doing all right. We got can't believe we lost against the damn Raptors the other day. Freaking Scotty Barnes ass.
I mean, he can do that too. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably leading them right now in like rookie votes. I think he's averaging like 18 right now. But I mean, it's a long season. But I like the fact they got off to a nice little start. But we got some tough games ahead. I mean, we got the Pacers playing the Pacers right now, down 3. Then we got the Bucks on Friday. So, hopefully we can either go 1-1 or 2 and zip. So. But like you said, there's a lot of basketball left. I like what I'm seeing. It doesn't seem like Tibbs is running them into the ground. Seems like he's willing to go deep in the bench. Probably got 10 guys, like a 10, 11 man rotation right now. So, I mean, no complaints, man. Just want to see him finish out games better. That's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
And then not too much else. I mean, Lakers are trying to get over 500. Ben Simmons still hasn't seen the court. Seems like he's never coming back. He's just waiting to get traded. I don't know what's going on with that, but so I have to wait and see, though.
Very strange still over there, and it sounds like that. I just wonder where these leaks are coming from. Like why do we need to know that he won't go get? He's not mentally ready, but he won't go get help from the team.
Yeah.
Very strange. But yeah, hopefully they can do something there.
Yeah, maybe they have an arrangement where they say, hey, if you stay away from the team, we'll pay you until we can find you a trade partner. So
yeah.
Maybe they're just throwing it out there because people keep asking, hey, when you coming back? When you coming back? So that's gonna be an interesting story to watch.
Yeah, they need to do something though. He's just wasting away down there.
Yep. Then we had MLB finishing up World Series. The unlikely Braves come through, handle business. They beat the Astros 4-2. Who would have thought?
Yeah, 88 wins on the season. I think they were below 500 in August.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it just shows you, the team can get hot in the playoffs, and especially in baseball. And we've seen it before. I'm sure we'll see it again. Team gets hot and can ride it all the way to a championship, and that's what Atlanta did.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be more interesting for these other teams that had high expectations, like the Dodgers, the Yankees, just to see what improvements they try to do in the off season, and then what teams are able to maintain some of the momentum they had with like some of these players. Like we mentioned before, the Dodgers got 13 players that are free agents. So I don't know if people feel like they want to be there anymore. I don't know. I felt like they were just they were just trying to hire different assassins, but they didn't gel together. But I mean, you never know. LA is a great place to live, so maybe that's one of the things they got going for them. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then college football, they announced the playoffs. I mean, they got Georgia, Alabama, Michigan State, and Oregon as the top 4 teams. You got Ohio State at 5, Cincinnati at 6, Michigan and Oklahoma, Wake Forest, Notre Dame. Pretty round up the top 10. I feel like some of these undefeated teams that are in like not big divisions will like never get in. Like they're never going to get into the playoffs, man.
Yeah, like I don't know, what does Cincinnati have to do to? I feel like they started the season at 6 and they're still at 6, and they've done nothing but win. And there's teams in front of them that have lost games, and I'm with you. Like, what do these guys got to do?
I don't know, man. Maybe they just feel like they're not playing as tough of competition as some of these other teams. But I mean, you can only play who's on your schedule. I mean, and the thing is that I don't know. Maybe you're just gonna have to wait till they expand the playoffs to see some of these teams, like a Cincinnati, that get the opportunity to really show how good they are against some of these bigger schools. Because it doesn't seem like I don't know. Maybe they feel like it's not a sexy look if you have some of these teams in the playoffs. Like imagine you had a Cincinnati versus Alabama, or and let's say Cincinnati won it. Maybe they kind of look at it funny compared to it being Alabama, like a popularity contest.
Yeah, so put get one of these teams in if they're gonna win all their games, they win their championship, put them in the 4 seed and let them play Alabama or Georgia, and if they can hang, then that all right, we're good. If they can't hang, if they get blown out, then it's back to the drawing board.
Yeah, but I think they're just looking for like I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Maybe they just feel like some of these teams are in the big divisions are way better than like teams in the lesser divisions.
Yeah.
So like a Wake Forest or a Cincinnati, like maybe they just feel like the talent level is just so superior that it's going to be a blowout if they were in there at that 4 spot. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it's football. I mean, people any given Sunday, man. Sometimes people don't show up. So I mean, that's why they play the game. So I think you just got to put them in there. I think some of these undefeated teams should be ranked higher, but we still got a lot of season left. So you never know who can drop out. Maybe one of these teams move up. So we're gonna have to wait and see.
And you could be looking at a Georgia Alabama SEC championship. So what happens there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What happens if Alabama beats Georgia?
Yeah.
Now does that kick Georgia out of the top 4, or does that move Georgia to 4 now?
Exactly. I think we'll have some questions here down the road.
Because then you got 4 teams in the top 4 that all with a loss, and then you got 2 or 3 other teams from 6 to 10 with no losses.
Exactly.
So that's it. Maybe we got to wait for them to expand this playoffs in order for us to see some of these smaller programs play against these bigger schools. So.
Yep.
Then it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, we had this week we got a maple glazed chicken with a creamy polenta.
Okay.
So this is take some chicken thighs, skin on, bones in, and crisp them up in a skillet, skin side down, a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper. Get those nice and crispy. Let them cook out. Flip them, cook them for a few more minutes. Take it out, set it aside, and then actually had some veggies in there. So I did some sliced up some butternut squash, caramelized that, and did some collard greens, a little bit of salt, pepper, apple cider vinegar on those. So got put those off to the side. Then the sauce is really pretty simple. It's just a butter with some real maple syrup and butter, maple syrup, honey, and Dijon. Not honey. Sorry.
Did you put some rosemary in there, or?
Some thyme.
Oh yeah, see.
Some thyme in there. Some jalapenos actually, and whole grain mustard. That was what I was missing.
Okay.
Some sort of mustard in there. Yeah. So then stir that all up, let it kind of reduce down a little bit, and then throw the chicken back in and get it all glazed up. Then on the polenta, really pretty straightforward. Just a little bit of thyme in there as well, and then get it smooth, nice and creamy. Throw a little butter and white cheddar cheese in, and stir that all together.
Okay.
Serve the chicken on top of the polenta with the veg on the side, and then put a little of that maple glaze on top of the chicken. And pretty good.
Oh, nice.
I thought I get a little concerned with like maple and things like that, sweet things. But I felt like the mustard and the acid just kind of balanced out.
Yeah, sometimes it's good when you get that something sweet with the spicy combo going. So
yeah, for sure.
And then what did you guys drink that down with?
All right, so now that it's getting cold, getting into the stout season, one of the the breweries around here, Trillium, they're out of Canton, and they're in Fort Point down in the city. They re-released, or they did a second batch of their barrel-aged affogato. So affogato, for those that aren't familiar, is a dessert, coffee and ice cream, I believe it is. And so they did this probably 2 or 3 years ago, and it was like a huge hit. It was really good. So finally, they did it again, and got a hold of one of them, and it's like dessert in a bottle. It's crazy. They barrel age it, so you get a little bit of the whiskey barrel flavor, a little bit of burn, but it's smooth, sweet, really good, kind of like a dessert beer. And
is it more thick like a Guinness, or?
Yeah, it's a stout, so it's thicker for sure. Thicker than a Guinness. Guinness is not overly thick, but it's pitch black, vanilla, espresso taste. I think it comes it's a 13.8%, so it's a high ABV there.
Okay.
But yeah, really good. Probably like an 8.4.
Okay, we back in business now.
Yeah.
That's one of those you might have to experiment with.
Oh yeah.
Throw it on.
No, it's definitely a good one.
Is there ever been a beer slushy or a beer like?
Yeah, so it's funny because Trillium does make those.
Like a beer float?
Yeah, they do it with stouts. So they'll do like a stout and put some ice cream in there or something like that. They also do like some places do with their sour beers. They'll like turn into like almost like a daiquiri slushy type deal.
Oh, nice. I haven't. That's the thing. I never seen them a place that sells them or like has them on the menu. Maybe I just haven't been to a place like that. But I feel like that would be a great idea for summertime.
Not all of them do, but there's a handful that do those slushies.
Might have to invent that or something. And then I think that's it for JD's Bites and Brew. And then not much on the BRs this week. Still finishing up some shows. Currently going through Dope Sick right now. That's about the Oxycontin pandemic, so to say. Very interesting how some of these big companies are basically selling crack and didn't go to jail. Probably, I think they just got a fine for it. But it's crazy when you watch it, like how many different people are in cahoots. How many people are getting paid?
Pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah. So like they pretty much, like Oxycontin's like an
opioid.
It's like it was like the first like code 2 drug to have a label on it that says pretty much this, people can't get addicted from this. Less than 1% of people get addicted from this.
Really?
Which was approved by the FDA. The guy that approved it, after he approved it from the FDA, actually quit, went to work at Purdue, which is crazy. It's just a lot, man, that, people, how much people were in cahoots on this to get this drug out. And I'm sure this is not the only one. I'm sure there's other ones. I'm sure we're going to see more stories like this. I'm just interested to see on how many people actually went to jail, or was there any outcome from this? Because from what I'm hearing, it sounds like none of these people went to jail. They just probably found the company a few millions of dollars, but the company made billions. So
yeah, it's worth the fine.
Yeah, it's just crazy. One of those things that you see that happen. Meanwhile, like those people out there selling crack, or don't get me wrong, they're both wrong. It's wrong to sell drugs, so to say, right? But it's very interesting when when you see the different type of people that are selling the drugs and the outcomes. So
yeah.
Then watching La Brea. It's about it's about the like crack. I don't say crack, but like this split in time that happens in California, where people that fall through it go back to like 10,000 BC or something like that, where dinosaurs are around and all these different like animals. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's I just find myself watching it. I don't know how I ended up watching it. I mean, I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in, and then I'm going through Invasion. That's the other show on Apple TV about pretty much the invasion. It's like I'm like 4 episodes in, and I still haven't seen the alien yet. So I'm wondering if it's gonna be one of those shows where they're just like, oh, it's an alien, but you don't really see any aliens. So I mean, so far, it's okay so far. I'm still trying to get through it. And then there's some other shows I'm getting through. I forget the other. Well, there's another show that came. I think it's the 3rd time they try to remake the show. It's called the 4400. It's pretty much, it's about like 4,400 people that disappear. And then they all come back, like, let's say in today's time. But they come back with like powers. But they were like abducted by aliens or something like that. The last time they redid it, I actually liked it, but I think it was like on Sci-Fi. You know, those shows don't really last too long. I don't know. I don't know where this show is on. I know I just saw there's like 2 episodes out of it. I was gonna wait for it to come out some more so I can binge it. And then there's some other shows looking forward to. Trying to catch up on Yellowstone and Succession.
Yeah.
So I'm new to those shows. So
awesome.
Then we got the
finished whatchamacallit?
The Maids.
The Maid, yeah. Maid.
How are you feeling at the end of it?
Yeah, I mean it's it's a pretty depressing show.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, you know, anything that can go wrong for her goes wrong.
Yep.
So you know, obviously you're rooting for her the whole time because she's trying to do the right thing, but keeps getting stuck in this like cycle of terribleness.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I feel like not to that extent, but we've all been at that point where you're like, you know, F it, you know, I'm just gonna give up. And then, you know, she's like, nope, I'm not gonna let this happen. And you know, starts working her way back out of it, and then starts turning it back around, and yeah, you know, finally at the end ends up, you know, on the upside of things. But yeah, it's definitely like, you know, it's something, you know, that happens, but you don't, you know, unless you're living in it, I guess you don't see it, or I guess you don't understand it.
Yeah,
it's happened to you, so it's a little crazy and sad, really.
Yeah, when she lost her place because the boyfriend, I would have lost it, man. Somebody would have had to die, man.
Yeah, the fact that like he ever like came, you know, got her to come back home with him, like, nope, I would never, like, no, like, that's it, bro. Like, I'm trying to fix this thing for myself. I got lucky on this deal. Our kid is in a great. Well, first of all, not letting any one of those girls come by with all that booze. So, yeah, that's not happening. At a place, especially like that, right, where you know these, you know, unless everyone's gone by like 5 p.m., like, nope, not happening.
Yeah, it started off like the typical high school party. Like, hey, can I have a few friends over? Then all of a sudden, a few friends turn like 30 people. You're like, how did this happen?
Yep.
Then shit starts breaking, and oh man.
Once you know what. that would have been it. Like, I'm cutting off, and I know it's tough because like he's fighting for you know, some sort of custody, and it that makes it a little more difficult. But oh my god, I'd be done.
Yeah, I was just that'd have been my boiling point.
Yeah, I was booting the mom out too. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, it was just sorry. Yeah, it just so I would have cut the mom off so early.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, you find yourself rooting for her. After the end of the towards the end, I wish it would have showed us more, like, you know, gave us like a little fast forward, like, you know, 5 years later or something, just to make sure, you know, she made it through college and she's doing good.
Yeah.
Just for the closure, because it's supposed to be a limited series, but you never know. Sometimes when these limited series do good, they end up turning into 3-4 seasons, like The Sinner. So.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, Netflix got some other shows coming out in November. Mentioned before, the Cowboy Bebop, that's based on the anime. So, I mean, Netflix has been doing their thing lately, man. They've been having some good shows. So.
Yeah, they have.
And then we got the the big Marvel movie coming out on Friday, The Externals. I don't know. I kind of want to see it in the movies, but I don't know, man. I feel like since COVID, I don't feel like going to the movies anymore, man.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, so I mean that's pretty much about the externals. They're pretty much like kind of like gods, so to say, in Marvel. So kind of like picture like if like picture like Thanos. They're like pretty much a bunch of Thanoses, so to say, as far as like a power level type of people, but a little bit stronger, obviously. And they're pretty much going to be on Earth protecting something that's supposed to be growing. We're not sure what it is, but maybe this might kickstart us into the mutant era of Marvel, where we get to see some of those X-Men and other stuff like that. But I'm sure it's going to be a good movie. They got a star-studded cast. I mean, Marvel really doesn't miss when it comes to these movies.
Yeah.
Outside of that Black Widow, I didn't like that one. But other than that, I mean, most of these movies are pretty good though. So I mean, if you follow along, I'm sure it's going to be linked to some of the other movies down the line. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. And I think that's pretty much it.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out with your boy Rich, JD, and Tom here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.